what feels like forever, advertising was completely off limits for chartered accountants. Their entire professional world was pretty much built on a code of silence. Well, that era, it's over. And in this explainer, we're going to break down the new rulebook that is totally changing how CAs can build their brand and grow their practice.
For generations, this was the rule, the unbreakable rule. I mean, think about it. No ads, no reaching out to clients directly. Your whole career was built on your reputation and pure word of mouth. This one sentence, right here, dictated absolutely everything about how a CA practice could or couldn't grow.
And just like that, everything has changed. The floodgates have opened. That old, quiet world of professional referrals is now plugging directly into the super fast-paced digital world we all live in. And this isn't just some small tweak, you guys. This is a massive, fundamental shift in how the entire profession communicates and grows.
So what can you actually do now? Well, the key to understanding this whole new era really boils down to one central idea: the write-up. You got to think of it as the new, officially approved cornerstone for pretty much all your marketing.
Okay, so this write-up is basically your new professional advertisement. It's the approved format for you to showcase your firm's details, your services across any platform you want, print, digital, social media, just as long as it keeps things classy and maintains the dignity of the profession.
And check out what you can actually put in your write-up now. It's so much more than just a name and an address. We're talking qualifications, a professional photo, a full list of your services, and this is a real game changer. You can now name clients as long as you have their permission, of course. That's huge for building credibility.
Of course, in today's world, when we say advertising, we really mean digital. So let's jump into how these new guidelines actually work online. Because, let's be honest, this is where the biggest opportunities are.
All right, this next part is probably the most important concept to get your head around: the difference between pull and push. Think of pull like a fishing line. You put the info on your website, and a potential client has to actively come looking for it. This is the only way you can talk about core CA services, like statutory audits. Push, on the other hand, that's like a paper airplane. You're proactively sending information out into the world: a blog post, a social media update. And this is where things get really interesting. In this slide really lays out the new digital toolkit you have to play with. You can build your own website, link it to your social media, you can even host chat rooms for clients. But maybe the most powerful tool here is the ability to create educational content, videos, articles, podcasts, to really show off your expertise and build trust with a huge audience.
So what kind of services can you actually push market? Well, the list is massive. You can now proactively market your expertise in everything from financial management and HR to M&A advisory. But what's really telling, what I find super interesting, is the stuff at the bottom: AI consultancy, social impact assessment. This shows the guidelines aren't just playing catch-up. They're actually looking ahead to the future of the profession.
And hey, as you're building your own firm's brand, you can now also tap into the power of the collective professional brand. Using the official CA India logo on your website and your materials helps create this unified, recognizable, and trusted identity for everyone in the industry. It's a win-win.
Okay, but with all this new freedom, obviously comes some new responsibility. The guidelines also set up some really clear guardrails to make sure all this new advertising keeps the profession's integrity intact. So let's look at what you can't do.
This slide illustrates the boundaries perfectly. You can absolutely post a video explaining the new tax regime, but you can't end it with a big "call us for a consultation" slide. You can write a super detailed blog post analyzing the union budget, but then you can't run a paid ad saying you have the best audit services. You see the pattern here, right? The goal is to inform and educate, not to directly sell or claim you're better than everyone else.
At the end of the day, it's all about keeping things professional. That means absolutely no over-the-top claims, no using client testimonials in your ads, and definitely no trash-talking other CAs. You also can't use those aggregator platforms or come up with a catchy marketing slogan. The focus has to stay on substance and professionalism, not flashy sales tactics.
But wait, the story doesn't end here. The whole landscape is still evolving, and the proposed draft for 2025 actually gives us a little sneak peek into where all this is headed next.
So, looking ahead to this 2025 draft, the trend is pretty clear. Things are getting even more modern. The definition of a write-up is going to get even broader, and some of those little kind of fussy rules about font sizes and things are going away. Most importantly, the scope of services just keeps growing, officially bringing in those future-focused areas like AI and social impact consulting that we were just talking about. And speaking of AI, here's a super practical piece of advice for right now. You are totally encouraged to use AI tools to help you create all this new marketing content, to draft articles or outline scripts, but the guidelines are very clear. You always have to apply your own professional judgment. Avoid what's called automation bias. Basically, don't just blindly accept what the AI spits out. At the end of the day, you are still the expert.
So there you have it. The old rules have been completely rewritten. You have all these new tools in your hands, and the digital frontier is wide open for you to explore. This isn't just some regulatory update. It's an entirely new playbook for professional growth and branding. So the only question left is the one you see right here. How are you going to write the next chapter for your firm? Thanks so much for tuning in.